Pablo, so before we just kind of wrap up this show, you really talked about purpose, and I really just want to kind of hit home on that because, again, there's a lot of everybody out there wants to live their purpose, right? There's the book, The Purpose-Driven Life. And if you could ask me, like, Brett, would you rather have $1 million over here or live the rest of your life living out your purpose? There's just no comparison. I think a lot of people really would say that same thing, right? They don't want to do something they're not meant to do that doesn't fulfill them, make them come alive. They really want to live their life with that. And you obviously seem like you have found that. So what are some ways that you would just talk to the business owner, entrepreneur out there about, how do you go about doing that? That might be a loaded question.
Yeah, that's a big question, I would say. I think everybody has their own journey. But one of the things, when I was going to very wise people on what I should be doing, if I should, go and start transferring futures or stay where I was doing, was that, one person told me, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added into your life. So the things that we seek for every day, it's almost like God puts it upside down, right? And he wants us the other way around completely. Those things that this world is not actually after anymore, right? Everybody's after money, success, and those are great things. But God almost puts it in the other side, and he's like, okay, go serve others. Go do something that is beyond yourself. And if what you're doing right now goes beyond yourself, there's legacy in that. If what you're doing right now actually impacts positive other people, then it's great. It's part of the purpose, right? But I think it's a very personal journey, and everybody in their own time. But I would say just hang out with people that are already doing what they're supposed to be doing in life, because that really inspires you to kind of build your own trust in saying, okay, God has my story. I have my own story too. And I can do things to step into my purpose. And I don't completely feel like I fulfill my purpose. Like I'm just starting. This is just the beginning. And God might have more challenges for me later on in life, where he wants me in another place or where he wants me to do something else. But it's just about, knowing what you're supposed to be doing today, right? Because life goes by so fast, right? So if you're always postponing this thing, which I thought about, I was like, maybe I'll just work for another year and then I'll see how things are, and maybe I'll jump into that. But the time is today, right? And we always worry so much about the future and what's going to happen, and we really overrate the future when we can just do something today, right? And if that means leaving a place, going into a new place, that's great. If it means helping more people, for business people, they want to support other organizations or transforming futures. If that's what it means. It's today, really. And I think that was very confronting to me, right? Because I thought about it in my process. Maybe I'll do it next year. And God's like, but it's today. It's today when you have to live your purpose, not tomorrow, not next year. It's today. And that really confronted me. I was like, okay. Because what's the thing about it? The thing about it for me was I have to rely everything on God. And that was losing control.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, but that means I have to come to you every day for guidance.
Depend upon you, yeah.
I have to depend on you every day. And he's like, yeah, and that's part of the purpose, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really stretching me, right? I'm like, okay, that's what you want, then I'll do it. And I think it's been the best decision of my life. I would say that without a question. It's been the best decision of my life so far. So far, right? Because I'm still pretty young.
Yeah. No, for sure. I know John Maxwell, I love one of his quotes, and he says, once you've tasted significance, success will never be enough. And I think he really goes on to say success, it can be very selfish, but significance has to be about others, right? And I think that's the world that what we're talking about, and that's what I love talking about, guys, is that success is great, right? I love business and entrepreneurship and making money and things like that. But there comes a point where, you're going to reach a point in your life that you do want to go beyond that. You want to go beyond into the significance, the purpose world, and, to make a difference, to make an impact. And this is where Transforming Futures lives. Mm-hmm. And you can also be a part of that. Maybe it's Transforming Futures. Maybe it's an organization in your own community, in your own backyard. There's so many people out there hurting that need help. Mm-hmm. And so I would just say, start walking, right? And whatever, God lays on your heart, makes you fulfilled and to come alive during this season of your life, I would just say explore it and just see what God does with it. Pablo, what do you want your legacy to be?
Wow, that's a big question. Well, I'm not a dad yet, but I think in the same way my mom, I think I'm part of her legacy of just serving others. If my children can serve others in the same way I do it, in the same passion I do it, I think that's just that simple fact for me will be like great. Like it is great. I was being a good father because I see a lot of children living in extreme poverty, orphans, and they don't have good fathers. And so to me, legacy means being present with my family, despite not having it right now. But having my children serve others, thinking about others before themselves. And then for me, legacy is Transforming Futures, really, because it's going to go beyond me. Like, it's not going to be limited to my capacity. It's not going to be limited to my age. To me, Transforming Futures is legacy, because it's not about you at all. I mean, even when you're serving others, it's not about you. And Transforming Futures is the vehicle God has given us to bless others. So if Transforming Futures continues to bless others, even without me, that's my legacy. And then with that, I'm done. I mean, I don't need anything else. It's what I was supposed to be doing. And I know that's the fact that God put me to do that. So that's how I would describe my legacy.
That's awesome, man. Well, Pablo, thank you so much. It has been a blast on today's show, and I know I've gotten so much just out of just this episode and your organization, Transforming Futures, and I know that I really desire to be a part of whatever you guys are doing, and hopefully I can continue to be a part of that. And if you're tuning in to this show and you want to be a part of Transforming Futures, go to their website, transformingfutures.org. Check out a couple of videos on their website. Now, I know they're always constantly coming out with content and telling stories about what's going on. And I mean, I just wish you the best. I know that you guys are going to do amazing things and continue to serve people and be the hands and feet of Christ. And appreciate being on the show, Pablo. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. I appreciate the invitation and really all your support to Transforming Futures. And thank you to the audience that was there. I appreciate you taking the time to get to know more about Transforming Futures. If you ever come to Guatemala, I'll be here ready to take you on an amazing experience just to serve others, really. So thank you again, Brett. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for checking out the Brett Snodgrass channel. If you like this video, please slam on that like button. And if you really like it, then subscribe to our channel here. And remember to leave us a comment below, and I'm going to try my hardest to reply to all the comments. Thank you guys so much. This is why I do what I do. Every single week, I come out with content that focuses on success, freedom, and living out your purpose. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.